In this video, I'm going to show you some really awesome cursor rules that you can actually use if you're new to coding. So yesterday I put out this post. Every time I say something like this, the number one question I get is, okay, how do I start? What's the best way to start learning? And here's my recommendation. So A, you obviously need to download Cursor. It's the AI code editor that everybody's using. Go ahead and do that. And once you have that, I'm going to demonstrate. First, I'm going to demonstrate what this workflow is like without the prompts so that I can emphasize why it's so powerful. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say, please create a basic user form. In chat, we're going to use chat instead of composer here because it's a little easier to demonstrate. So what you can see here is I'm in Cursor, I'm just using the chat features, and what is happening here is the AI is just jumping right into writing all the code for me. So my normal workflow would just be hitting this apply button, hit apply to entire file, and then accept this, and I'd be on my way. Okay, we're actually going to undo this, and I'm going to show you the prompt that if you are learning how to code for the first time, this prompt is going to be super valuable. So what you need to do is in the top right here on Cursor, you want to click the settings here, and this is going to take you into your Cursor settings. And one of the really cool things that you can do within Cursor is you can actually customize how you want the AI to kind of respond to you. So I have this prompt here right now. This is a really popular prompt. It's probably the most popular Cursor rules right now. It's from one of the Cursor employees, so it's very good. This is what I use on a day-to-day basis. But what I want you to do is I'm going to have this below. Is what we're going to do here is we're going to copy and paste the code tutor prompt here. And you can see we're doing a few things in this prompt. We're basically giving it a role of an AI coding instructor. We're giving it a bunch of guidelines here, and we're kind of telling it how we want responses to be formatted. And so let me show you why this is so nice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to do a reload window just to make sure that those cursor rules update. And I'm literally just going to copy and paste this, and we're going to create a new chat here. And what I'm going to do is make the same request here, but watch how the response changes, okay? It's going to totally adapt based on the actual prompt that we gave it. So let me send that off. It looks like we're having a network error. There we go. So you can see here, see how we're getting a bunch of comments here? Well, guess why that's happening? Look at the line 14 here, or rule 14, use comments throughout the code to help document. Okay, so what it's doing is it's basically taking on the persona of a coding tutor, and it's actually breaking down everything. So you can see if you had never written React code before, at the very top here you'll see these state variables here, right? And if you're new to this, you don't know what a state variable is. So what the code tutor is doing right here within Cursor is it's breaking all of that down, and it's going, okay, here's what you could do. And this is a really nice feature as well within Cursor. See how I'm highlighting this? And there's this ask button. I can actually just reply to this code. So if I wanted a further breakdown, I could ask that. And you can see it's totally going like line by line, explaining every single thing I need, possible improvements, all that stuff. So what I could do here is I can now hit apply. And it's going to do the same thing, except kind of how I ask for things, right? And so to give you another example, like let's say we were going to jump into, let's say we wanted to tweak styles in our components or in our project here. And we have this global CSS file here. And if you're new to programming, you probably have absolutely no idea what this means. So check this out. Let's first do what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to copy the old prompt here and check this out. Check this out. We're going to go into Cursor settings. We're going to use the old prompt here. Okay, so the old one is in here. We're going to reload our window, and we're just going to say, what does this do? And watch the difference in quality and kind of the depth and the breadth of how it's going to explain things. So you can see we're getting like pretty good explanation here, but it's very basic. And so now if I go grab that tutor prompt here again, I'm going to do this just one more time. Just hang in here with me while I go put that in here. Now watch if I ask it again. What does this do? Watch how much better the explanations are, okay? We're now getting kind of more in-depth explanations on what these tailwind directives are. You can see we're getting every single one of these things is like slightly more in depth. You can see we get a nice little summary here. You can see it suggesting things like for further learning, which is really nice. If you even combine that with a trick that I like to use, which is you can actually create a perplexity prompt and pass this into perplexity. That's a great workflow as well. So there's just like all sorts of things you can do here, right? Say, let's go back to an old chat. So in Cursor, you get your chat history, which is really cool. So let's jump back into one of those old explanations. This is actually, is it this one? Which one was it? It's this one right here. So what we could do here is we could say like, let's go close this. We could say, hey, I don't really get what the submit thing does. What it's going to do is it's going to just break down this particular function in even more detail. Okay. So like I said, if you get stuck on anything, the great thing about this prompt is you can just kind of keep digging and digging and digging and going as deep as you need to for explanations here. So you can see we're getting like almost like a little mini programming lesson here, which is really cool. So like say I got stuck on this console log thing, what I could do is I could literally highlight that, hit reply and go, I don't get this. Please, let's just make it really basic. Please help. And you can see that we're going to get from our coding tutor here an awesome little mini lesson here on console.logs. So in summary, I don't want to go too lengthy here, but if you use the prompt that I'll have below, this is a really great way, especially for you newer programmers who are just starting to build for the first time with AI and with Cursor, and you want to work on projects, but you also not just, if you're trying to just kind of fly and build features as fast as possible, you're probably going to want a different prompt. But if you're kind of, you're doing your first week or two or your first weekend project or whatever, this is a great prompt to use because it's not only going to help you build things, but it's going to explain how all the different pieces fit. And if you want to learn and you want to get a better foundational understanding, which I definitely recommend, use this prompt because it's going to